This is the quick start on creating neon. Start out with some text, and I listed where to get this cool clip neon text. You want it to be caps, and all you have to do is switch between here and here. And I think I'm going to go with, lowercase will look awesome like this. I think I'm going to go with all caps. I'm going to center this, going down to align and making sure it's in center. To get this effect going, there'll be this layer that will have the blinkiness applied to it. I'm going to duplicate that layer, and as it blinks in and out, the neon text, it's going to fall back to this layer behind it, and you'll see this in a second. On top of this layer, on top of the top layer, I'm going to apply a tint and pick some groovy looking orangish color. And now our goal is to get this to blink in and out between the two layers. The background layer, though, I might make red. Selecting this background layer, also applying tint to it. I'm going to turn off the top layer and applying red to this layer. And we're almost there. So the top will go between here and here. And you could pick any colors you want. To get the strobing to happen, pressing T for opacity, pressing Option, click right here, and going to use the wiggle. And how many times per second? This is kind of Halloweenish. Make it happen pretty quick. 3, so 3 times a second. How much the opacity will fade down in 30. So going between 70% and 100%, 3 times a second. I'm going to pick different colors for the top layer and background layer to really make it stand out. For the background layer, instead of red, maybe I'll pick a cool color such as blue. Under my projects, this is my neon project, which contains these 2 layers. I'm going to copy this layer because I'm going to do some beveling in a moment from now. I'm going to make a new composition. I'm going to make a new composition so I can apply a global effect to both of these text layers. And I'm going to by dragging this composition to this composition layer right here. And this makes a new composition called Neon 3. I'm going to rename this to my final clip text. And on top of both of these, apply a glow effect. So stylized glow. So it's applied to here. You can already see it glowing. I'm going to decrease the threshold, meaning that less lightness has to happen before it starts to glow. I'm going to increase the glow radius. You can see there's the glow radius and also the glow intensity. Radius and making the intensity a lot more. Since I don't think these 2 are extreme enough, I'm going to go back in color. I'm going to go back to these initial colors and just pick some other colors to make it stand out. Halloween green. And also decrease the opacity. Maybe 30 isn't strong enough. Maybe I'll go down to 60, which will have a bigger variation between those greens. And instead of being green and on blue, that bottom layer I'm going to make red. Very gaudy Halloween colors. Next, I'll go back to this final clip layer. You can see the blinking happening. I'm going to add a little bevel to this. Remember earlier I went here and I copied this text layer by hitting Command C or Control C? Well, I'm going to use that right here. And I'm going to use that as a bevel, and then I'll mix the colors. It doesn't need to be tinted, so I'll just throw away that. I will apply Bevel Alpha, which adds bevel around the edges. I'll zoom in. Increase the bevel thickness. There's the thickness. Now, we're not seeing the background anymore, which could be an effect that you want. Maybe you want to change the foreground color by applying a tint to this, T-I-N-T, right there, and adding some other color like this, and so only the background's glowing, which could be an interesting effect. But I'm going to throw away that, like that, and instead, I'm going to use the mixing modes right here, and I'm going to apply a soft light, which will preserve the dark shadow right here of the bevelness. And now you have a cool neon effect.